back to another great edition of the HBCU NFL Report, where we provide you guys an update on some of your favorite Black college football stars in the pros. Guys, it's an exciting edition of the HBCU NFL Report because it's NFL time, baby. The season kicks off this Thursday evening with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going head-to-head with those Dallas Cowboys. We have a lot of great news to get into today on the HBCU NFL Report, so make sure you stay tuned and let's get right into it. Cornerback Matt McCain III, former All-MEAC defensive back from NC A&T University, has now signed to the Philadelphia Eagles active roster, okay? Don't play with him on the practice squad. He's on the active roster. He was signed off the Denver Broncos practice squad today by the Philadelphia Eagles. At the time of recording of this video, around Tuesday afternoon, he was signed by the Philadelphia Eagles from the Denver Broncos practice squad. Now, Matt McCain was originally signed as an undrafted free agent by the Denver Broncos after the 2021 NFL Draft. So when he came to the Broncos, we talked about this several times. The Broncos cornerback room was very crowded. We already knew his chances was kind of slim on making the Broncos active roster because they already had veterans in place. But, you know what I'm saying? One man's practice squad is another man's active roster. And now Matt McCain has been signed by the Eagles. You guys don't know this, but now you know. I'm an Eagles fan, so I'm super excited to have that young brother in our secondary. Now, the Eagles is the perfect place for Matt McCain to blossom in the NFL. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an Eagles fan, but there's plenty of room in the Eagles secondary for Matt McCain to grow. And the Eagles have a brand new defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon. He did some time with the Colts. He did some time with the Vikings as a defensive backs coach. So our defensive coordinator specializes in defensive backs, and he has been accredited with changing the trajectory of a lot of cornerbacks' career. He took Xavier Rhodes from just a regular guy on the Colts to one of their most productive corners. So we saw what he can do in the past when it comes to corners. We're going to see what he can do now with Mac, and Matt is now signed to the active roster. He is right now third on the depth chart behind Darius Slay, a veteran cornerback for the Philadelphia Eagles, and behind Zach McPherson, the Eagles' fourth-round pick, a cornerback out of Texas Tech. So like I said, he made the leap from practice squad to active roster, and the Eagles, like I said, have a secondary where Matt can grow. There's plenty of room for him to come in immediately and make an impact. The Eagles already have their starters when it comes to the cornerback position. Darius Slay and Steven Nelson, assigning from the Pittsburgh Steelers, are going to be the starting outside corners, and then returning slot corner Avonte Maddox is going to hold down the slot. Zach McPherson is going to be a outside corner. He might play some time in the slot as well, coming off the bench as a second string outside corner. But outside of that, it's a whole lot of questions when it comes to the Eagles cornerback room, and Matt McCain has the answers. We can see him immediately making an impact playing in the slot for the Philadelphia Eagles. And week one, the Philadelphia Eagles take on the Atlanta Falcons, a super pass-heavy team. And we're going to need all the cornerbacks to step up and be ready to make some big plays. And we know what Matt can do. He's a big play guy. So like I said, we can automatically, instantly see him making an impact, especially in the slot for the Eagles, because outside of Avonte Maddox, they have a lot of guys that specialize on special teams, but they don't have any real depth at the slot corner behind Avonte Maddox. And Matt McCain is a little undersized for an NFL outside corner, so I can see him starting off in the slot immediately. But then if, they see a role from him on the outside, which he played in college, he played as an outside corner, then he can definitely grow and roll out there. But like I said, they like it. I love it. Matt McCain, welcome to Philly. Now, besides that, we have a lot of other great news to get into when it comes to our young guns in the NFL. So a lot of transactions occurred after the 53-man roster dropped on August 31st. Now, when it comes to the NFL, guys, stuff changes every day, okay? That's why you guys need to stay locked into our website, hbcugameday.com. Y'all need to stay locked in here on YouTube as well for updates, because there's 32 teams with 53-man active rosters. All of these teams have practice squads as well. Some practice squads have up to 13 players on them. That's a lot of bodies. That's a lot of moving parts, and things change pretty much every day when it comes to an NFL roster. So you got to stay updated on some of your favorite players. Make sure you turn your notification bells on here so you can stay updated. But as of right now, we have some transaction news, and it kind of took us a while to get this video updated because things were moving so fast. Guys are here today, then there tomorrow, then in between the next day. But let's get into some more news. So starting off with Keon Smith. Keon Smith, an offensive lineman out of Fayetteville State University. He originally signed with the Atlanta Falcons after the 2020 NFL Draft. He performed in the preseason training camp with the Falcons, and then he did not make the 53-man roster. But later, he was signed by the Miami Dolphins, so now he's headed down south, even further south, to Florida, to the MIA. Danny Johnson, former Southern University Jaguar, has been signed to the Washington football team practice squad. A little peculiar because Danny Johnson was playing with, on the active roster for the Washington football team for the last couple of seasons. This season, they decided to waive him from the 53-man roster and sign him to the practice squad. So it's a little glass half empty, half full. He's still on the team, but he's not on the active roster. A lot of questions there. A lot of fans were questioning that as well. That I do not have the answer for. But Danny Johnson is still sticking around with the Washington football team, just right now on the practice. Quentin Bell, a former Prairie View A&M linebacker. We reported last time on the HBCU NFL Report that he was waived from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And what did I say, guys? I said Quentin Bell will find a new home soon, and I was right. You know what I'm saying? Quentin Bell is now signed with the Atlanta Falcons practice squad at this moment. And speaking of Atlanta Falcons, Chris Rowland, who was recently waived by the Atlanta Falcons, a wide receiver out of Tennessee State University, he's still looking for a home. He's still a free agent right now. And also when it comes to free agents, we still have Trenton Cannon, former Carolina Panther, former New York Jet, former Virginia State University running back, is still looking for a home right now. But it's being reported as we speak that the Baltimore Ravens are looking at Trenton Cannon. They're looking to sign Trenton Cannon, so that might be happening soon. And the Baltimore Ravens have a super explosive offense led by Lamar Jackson, and Trenton Cannon would definitely have fun playing in that regime. So we'll see if that pans out for him with the Ravens. If not the Ravens, we definitely know another team will be signing Trenton Cannon because he has made a mark for himself as a special teams return specialist. So guys, that is your HBCU NFL report. I'm Symone Stanley. Make sure you guys are locked in here with your notification bells on. Make sure you're liking this video and leaving a comment. Let me know who you're looking out for the most. Let me know what news is the most surprising to me. The most surprising thing is Danny Johnson being on the Washington football team practice squad, when I really see him as being an active player, and he's been an active player in the past. Also, let me know which team you are rooting the hardest for this NFL season. And until I talk to you guys next time,